living in DC for the first 7, 8 years of my life, in the trenches though, but that's home sweet home.
Mm-hmm.
I went from deep side, moving up to well, I stayed from deep side a little bit Lauderdale Lakes,
Okay.
and I went over to Oakland Park where I lived off my elementary and middle school years. You feel me? A little bit of high school too as well. Oakland Park doing my little thing, and then from Oakland Park, I currently redesign Sunrise. You feel me? Sunrise Plantation. That's why a lot of my content, majority of my content actually is like in the deep side Sunrise Plantation area. But this
Gotcha.
year I'm gonna try to expand to like places like Coconut Creek or Springs, Parkland,
Mm-hmm.
Weston, Hollywood. There's a lot of parts of Broward I need to cover, but that's really who I am, what I do. I went to school, FAU, Florida Atlantic University,
Mm-hmm.
for filmmaking. I was in school for medical, but it wasn't for me. I wanted to do something that would make me happy, and like what I do best, which is filmmaking. I'm a very good video editor.
Yeah, I
And
see.
from there, I've been over excelling my content. This last year was a very blessed year for me,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of my stuff was being seen from people from not just in Broward, but all across the state of Florida, from Gainesville
Mm-hmm.
to Tampa,
For
you
sure.
name it, US Palm Beach, Miami, and down here, home sweet home, Broward County. So I'm very blessed, highly honored,
Definitely,
and I
definitely,
give all my credit
definitely.
to God, the one up there,
Yes, sir.
and my
Yes,
family,
sir.
my friends, for keeping me level, keep me humble. So that's really who I
Definitely.
am today, what I
Nah,
do.
for sure, for sure.
Honestly,
Hey,
yes.
nah, nah, nah. I love that. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that. You
give it to
definitely
God.
got high energy, giving it to God. You know what I mean? I love that. You're a
Yeah,
positive guy. I love the energy, brother.
yeah.
So, what made you get into like film work or
Oh, it's a great
filmmaking? Like,
question.
at what age did you start getting interested?
So I was a kid. I was always glued to the TV. Growing up. That's why I wear glasses. I got bad vision because I was always in front of the TV screen, just watching cartoons, films. Even with this walk, I see some films that I recognize, from The Departed to Reservoir Dogs. Some of my favorite films. And one thing that really got me into filming was just Pixar films. Animation. I used to love films like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Cars, especially Cars, Lightning McQueen, all that stuff. So
Mm,
you're just watching the how these animation studios will produce these films. I was always like glued to just the storytelling. I love telling stories.
mm.
That's probably what I do with Broward County. No matter if I'm telling a story about a friend who was in a car accident, my shout out to my boy Mitri, telling his story, or just telling a story about a restaurant that I love and adored growing up. I love telling stories,
Mm.
from individuals to businesses to just
So,
culture,
so,
all that
so,
stuff.
okay, so when did it, okay, so like, all right, but when did it, what was your first interaction to say, I'm gonna do this? What was your first thing that you, let's say, filmed, if that's a word? What's the
That's a good
first thing you
question.
filmed?
Well, during my Broward College days, where I was in medical field, I wanted to really take a pivot in my life where, I don't want to do medical, I want to do something else. So I started doing a lot of filmmaking stuff in Broward College. I'll say around 2019.
Mm.
That's when I really started dipping my toes into those type of waters, and just started making like short films on my YouTube channel. Check out my YouTube. A lot of my short films and my documentaries are on there. I really say during my Broward College days, 2019.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's when I
okay.
started taking things way more serious.
Nah, definitely,
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
So, what did it take for you to say, I'm gonna take this serious, even though you were in school? Obviously, you're focusing on that. You have
Yeah.
probably focusing on living day to day life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, what did it take for you to be able to get over that and focus and make it happen?
With the mindset of just knowing that you only live once in this life, honestly, because I will be damned if I live a life where I didn't pursue my dreams, or
Mm.
pursue my goals, and just going the traditional route, the safe route, which is fine for some people. But my mom, she's Nigerian. She wanted me to become a doctor or a nurse, and that's traditional, which is fine. But I know for a fact it would not make me happy. So I wanted to take a route that will make me happy, and just the mindset of just I had friends that I lost as well.
Mm.
I'm the one that's still around. I'll make them proud, make myself proud, even make my family proud. So just
Yes, sir.
taking that mindset, just you only live once, and you never want to live a life that you let your opportunity slip away. Honestly,
Man,
yeah.
that's deep. I like
Nah, no,
I
for real.
like that. Nah, that's for real.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather chase my goals than to not. Like
absolutely,
you
man. Yeah, and like I said,
know.
like back to the point where I was saying, like I have friends that I lost. Rest in peace, my boy Chris. Elijah recently. I'm blanking out. Eric,
Mm.
Miles Solomon, and I just had a friend I can't really see on camera, but just passed away. I have a unfortunate
Man,
amount
I
of
seen I
friends.
seen one of your posts, bro, when you was doing this shout out to a lot of us. You was walking through and you was
Yeah,
giving a
man.
shout out. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
the reason why I take my craft very serious, and just try to pursue, and not let fear get in the way of things. Because
uh,
my friends are not gone; they're looking down at what I'm doing. All I can do
definitely.
is make them proud, and just really just go on from there.
Nah, for sure. And just for the audience, I want y'all
Mhm.
to know that the post that I'm referring to is he made a post where he's walking through and he's talking about his fallen homies, and he's really
Yes.
talking about doing it for them and actually like keeping like that keeps him motivated, knowing that
Absolutely.
he's still here and they still watching him and he putting in his work. So that's the post I'm referring to, and it's on his page. So I understand you, brother, for sure,
Appreciate
for
you
sure.
for
Yes,
pointing
sir.
that out,
No, no,
honestly.
no, for
Thank
sure,
you.
brother. So
Yeah.
yeah. So but